A good craft project can be a cure for cabin fever, at least we think so. And so you might be on the lookout for a trendy take on the needle arts. With Loom and fibers in hand, you can catch the weave. Textured wall hangings are warming up walls in all kinds of spaces. Tommy Ann Hill has been experimenting. We first saw this on your social media. You were super excited about these kind of woven wonders.
So everywhere on Pinterest, on Instagram right now, you can see these woven textile wall hangings. They are all over the place and they're so fun to create, but it can seem kind of like an inaccessible thing because you have to have a lot of experience or a lot of equipment. But I'm really excited to show you how you can get started with just basically what you have on hand.
Do these have a name, or are they just kind of woven wall hangings?
Most people just call them weavings.
Okay, weavings. Okay, and you've brought an assortment of these today, and most of them are hanging on something.
That's how most of them are being used, but you can really use them in a variety of ways. Once you've got your weave done, a lot of it can be used like fabric. So you can make a throw pillow with it. You can make a bag. The possibilities are really endless.
Okay, so that's when it gets fun, is when you can use all of the different textures and different kinds. You're not just using yarn, you're using other sorts of woven
things. The
things.
great thing about it is once you kind of get the basics down, the sky is really the limit, and you can use any flexible kind of textile you can weave into your art to get all kinds of different textures. So I have here some different things that I've used.
Okay.
Yarn right now, there are so many different textures and weights and shapes of yarn that you can really get some cool designs just with simple weaving techniques, but using the different textures of yarn.
And do some work better than others, or do they all work?
Pretty much all the yarn that I've found works. It really depends on what effect you're going for. So this is a great craft to really experiment with and see what you like. One thing though is the bulkier your yarn is, the quicker it's going to go.
Okay, so I might want to go for the bulkier
Yeah, when
string.
you're starting out especially, it's a nice way to start because you fill up your loom faster and you also can get the really chunky feeling. So for this one back here, I've used a lot of just regular yarn, but then I also used this really bumpy yellow yarn, which filled up the space really fast and gave it such a nice cobbly texture. In this one,
that one's really fun. It's a lot thicker.
This one, I used this yarn right here, which gave it a nice bubbly effect, but it's just the normal weave that is the same weave as this right here.
Just with a different
different yarn. So you get a whole different look without having to learn a whole new technique.
And is this something that anybody can do? Because I tend to get a little leery of projects like this because I think, oh, I don't have the supplies, the loom, but you don't have to have all that.
Started. So here's how I got started. Last time I was here on Studio 5, I was doing a segment about clipboards, and I was researching on Pinterest. I found a tutorial for how to turn a clipboard into a weaving loom.
Oh,
and
wow.
I thought, oh my gosh, I can do this myself. And so all you need to do is get your string. You want a string that doesn't stretch too much.
Okay.
And then you wrap it around and around and around your clipboard, and then tie it real tight in the back. That gives you that structure that you can weave. And then you just need a big needle. It's called a tapestry needle. Usually you can find them, if you don't have one on hand, you can find it in the sewing section.
Okay.
And some yarn, and you can get started. One of the, I'll give that to you.
Okay.
So basically you just start by going under and over and under and over.
And you've put the ruler there maybe to help?
The ruler, with the ruler you can
missed
just push it all the way through and not even worry about the over and under.
I see what you're doing, okay.
Yeah. So then you've got your first row already done.
Okay,
and
that's
then you use your ruler to smush it down to the end. And then you would go back across the other way, doing the opposite thing.
Okay, and are you adjusting this ruler at all?
Just kind of as you go along, you move it up to make room for what you've already woven.
Okay.
So that's the basic idea. But as you go around on Pinterest or on Instagram, you can find tons of tutorials about different stitches and different techniques that will give you all the different looks that you're going for. And what I love about this is that whether your aesthetic is more simple and clean, like in this one right here, I chose a more geometric weave. So you've got interest, but not a lot of craziness. Or if you really love over-the-top color and texture, you can really go to town. And if you want to go, this is kind of called doodle weaving, where you don't have a plan in mind to start out with. You just kind of fill in the rows and the shapes as you go along. That is one way to do it. It's really fun because you don't have to plan a lot ahead of time. You just kind of go for it and do what feels right in each different section, and it amazingly comes together. But this style I know isn't for everyone because a lot of people feel more comfortable with a more geometric, symmetrical thing.
And is there a pattern for this type of thing, or you're just creating whatever you want?
So for this one, you just kind of go for it. But you can look up draft patterns for weaving.
Okay.
That's what I did to get this cool double diamond weave texture.
Yeah.
And it'll give you instructions, go under 2 over 1, under 2 over 1, that kind of thing. And with this, it looks complicated, but as long as you've gotten the basic plain weave down that I just showed you, you can do it.
So practice the basic first, and then you've taken this one step further and you have advanced to a bigger loom. Tell us about that.
So after I did that one, I thought, I really love this. I want to get into it. So I got this one for Christmas. And this is a lap loom. So it just has all these pegs so that it's easy to string. And then you go along, but it's the same basic idea.
Okay.
And the way you kind of get going on this, most weaves, as you'll notice up here, will have these knots with the long strings at the bottom. That really helps kind of give some length and bulk and drama to your thing. So all that you need to do is take whatever fibers you want to use for your thing. This one, I've got some nice thick yarn, and you get a length of it.
And you're just tying it on the bottom.
Yep, you just loop it around, and then pull that through.
And do you do that first before you start the weave?
Yep, it's easiest to do that first.
Okay.
And then make a row across the bottom.
And then move up.
And then once you've got a bigger loom, you're going to want a bigger needle. And so this goes all the way under, so you're not trying to fiddle with.
Right.
But then a smaller needle like this is still really helpful for the small areas that you're trying to fill in.
Okay.
I got this whole kit with the loom and the pickup stick, which is what you would use the ruler for, and the big needle, everything that I needed for about $40 on Etsy. And there are a ton of different kits that you can buy that are available that will fit, what you are really looking for out of the craft.
Okay. Well, thanks so much. Fun and exciting new world of woven wonders. And you have a giveaway.
I do. If you come over to Instagram, I'm celebrating reopening my shop after the holidays with a $50 shop credit giveaway. And you can put it towards one of these wall hangings or anything else that I've got in my shop.
Well, thanks so much, Tommy. Appreciate it.